This video will go over the basics of vList, the stock listing program included in Viking software suite vDesign. What you see here first is the initial landing page for vList. From here, you can create a new blank vList file using Create New Project, or you can open a previously created one, either with Open Existing Project or by selecting a recent project. You can also open the program configuration here before creating a vList file in order to set your initial IDs and some other settings. Immediately upon creating a new vList file or opening a previously created one, vList will automatically open to the Project tab. The project date will always be filled in automatically with the date the vList file was initially created, but you can edit it to any specific date. The PO number will also always immediately say quote when a new blank vList file is created, but this is also editable. At the bottom of the Project tab, you'll see the options for including caps and plugs for pipes and the active fab location. The active fab location lets you choose a Viking fabrication facility and its associated valid parts list, or your own location. The caps and plugs toggle is specifically for counting the needed plastic protective caps and plugs for pipes and fittings. The caps and plugs can be toggled on and off depending on if your job will require the plastic protective coverings, and you can also put a length in inches in the following box to determine the shortest piece of pipe that will require them. If the caps and plugs option is toggled on, your total amount will be calculated after running any of the reports available in vList. The second tab is for listing a job's welded pieces. On the right side, you'll see the Weld Defaults box. To change the pipe type, click on this icon of a pencil on a notepad. First, choose your origin, domestic or import, and finish, black or galvanized. Then you can choose your schedule, and then your stock length. Use these drop-downs to choose your default pipe size, your end prep, and your job's color codes. Once you have set your defaults, you can create your first line and pipe. Either click on the Add New Line button, shown here as a piece of pipe, or hit your F1 button. The first line ID will default to the initial weld line name defined in the program configuration window. You can rename the line ID to anything within 10 characters if needed, and the quantity can also be manually entered. From there, you can move into the piece information fields. You cannot edit the ID field, but these IDs will remain the same no matter if pieces before or after are added or removed. You can edit the pipe name either by clicking on the pipe name itself and choosing another pipe type from the drop-down, or using the keypad here on the right side of the screen. Click on the drop-down above the keypad drawing to choose between domestic black, import black, domestic galvanized, and import galvanized. Once the category is chosen, the pipe shown on the keypad will change to the components found in the parts database and assigned to the keypad. If there's a pipe type missing from the keypad that you will need, click on the Edit button next to the pipe category drop-down. From there, click on an empty box on the keypad, then the drop-down below the category, then choose your desired addition. Once you're done, click on the Edit button again, and now your keypad has been updated. All other fields besides the run length and center lengths can be similarly chosen by either a drop-down or the keypad shortcuts. That is again the pipe name, as you already saw, the pipe diameter, your end prep, your color code, your fittings, your sizes, your position. You can choose whether your lengths will be entered as run length or center length using the center to center toggle to the left of the weld defaults. Your choice in turning this toggle on or off determines which of the two length columns you will be able to enter lengths into, while the second column will be automatically calculated after a length is entered. Once you've entered a line of information, you can add another line of information to your current piece, create a new piece, or create a new line ID. There are 3 ways to do each of these options. Use the keypad command while in the Notes field. Use the icons above the line IDs, or using the appropriate function button between F1, F2, and F3. Additionally, you can use the green plus and the red minus buttons to duplicate or fully remove an individual outlet line, a full piece, or even a full ID. Note that deleting a piece will keep the individual piece IDs in place without resetting, while duplicating a line, piece, or outlet will always be added directly under the original. The third tab you see is the Thread tab for listing a job's no-weld outlet pieces. The Thread tab includes most of the same functions as seen in the Weld tab between the keypad, columns, and commands. One major difference you'll see here is that each piece in a line can have its own individual quantity along with the line quantity. You'll also see that when creating a new line, the first piece will always default to the stock length of the default pipe type. You can edit the length beyond that, and the next piece created will duplicate all parts of the previous piece. The fourth tab is the ISP drop tab and is specifically for listing our Viking InstaSeal drops and fittings. This tab is most similar to the Thread tab, but it does not allow you to change the end prep or the make on yes no fields. You can only choose our InstaSeal drops of varying lengths and our current InstaSeal reducers and couplings in this tab. You will likely only be using this tab if you are making a job using our InstaSeal thread outlets. If you are using this tab, you will also have the option to denote if the InstaSeal drops will need to be fabricated by your fabricator, or if you will want all components sent loose to assemble in the field. Simply click on the check mark box in the Fabit column to indicate how the InstaSeal drops should be sent out. The next tab is specifically for your job's hanger assemblies. In this tab, you can choose a specific hanger assembly you will need for your job with the click of a button based on the standard pictures of the assemblies. The tab starts off by showing you your favorited assemblies for your convenience, but you can add any assemblies to your favorites that are set up in the Parts Manager. Click on the Select Hanger Kit dropdown to look through the general types of hanger kits. From there, the complete available list of hanger kits will be displayed. Hover over the images and you'll see the image increase in size for a better view. If you want to add a hanger kit to your favorites or remove one, click on the heart icon in the bottom right corner of the image. Once you have clicked on your desired hanger kit, you'll see this middle box fill in with the default hanger ID, quantity, hanger kit name, and the fab box checked off. Similar to the ISP drop tab, if you want the hangers to be sent to the site as loose items, all you have to do is click the checkmark box off. Otherwise, leave the box checked on to have the hangers fabricated and the reports to have the appropriate report pages included. In the right-hand box, you can see the individual components making up the hanger kit assembly. Click on the diameter column to see a drop-down with the sizes available in the Parts Manager for that specific component. Most often, you will be selecting the hanger ring size here, which will then auto-populate the diameters of the rest of the components. You will also have to enter in the length for any components of the kits that require a specified length. Most commonly, this will be ATR, but some kits will also have non-ATR parts that require a specific length, like pipe stands and trapezes using pipe. Please note that this length will always be required to be the cut length of the part for accuracy. If your lengths are actually in center to center, aka down to the center of the ring, you will likely end up with ATR that is too long. If there are other components that you require in your hanger kit that are not accounted for in any of the current kits, the vList hanger kits are easily customized. Use the icons above the hanger kit components to add new components and parts to your hanger. Add part is where you will find most of the typical hanger components, like ATR and rings, while add fitting will allow you to add thread fittings, groove fittings, and holes. Add pipe will allow you to add any pipe to your kit. In the hanger tab as well, you can use the green plus or minus button to duplicate or remove full hangers or remove specified components from the kit itself. If you do end up editing a kit by adding or removing parts, your resulting report paperwork will include a warning for any edited hangers to indicate the resulting assembly may no longer match the image of the original hanger kit. The final tab for entering data is the Loose tab, where you will add any parts the job will need that will not be included in the fabricated parts, like your sprinkler heads, compressors, signs, and loose fittings. There are two ways to add loose items to the vList file, either by using the search and tree based on the vList parts manager, or by using the SupplyNet interface. For the tree, you will only see parts that are already added to the vList parts manager, so it likely won't have all parts you might need. The SupplyNet interface will give you all parts that are sold through Viking SupplyNet. If you are adding any parts through the tree, first you will expand the category of the part that you are looking for. Then you'll expand the subcategory. Then you can expand the component category. And from there, you can right-click on the size of the part you are looking to add. From there, you can manually edit the quantity of the parts that are needed. You can open the SupplyNet interface by clicking on either the Viking SupplyNet icon or any of the featured product icons to its right. You have multiple ways to search and browse for loose parts here, either by the sidebar menu on the left side of the screen, the search tab in the top right corner, or by directly clicking on images of parts and navigating through the different product lines. No matter which way you choose to find your loose parts, you'll eventually end up at a screen like this. Here, depending on the part, you'll be able to choose different specifications for the part, like finish and temperature for sprinkler heads, or length for threaded nipples. Below these options, you'll find links to easily guide you to related products, along with the technical data sheets for the given item. Once you've chosen the appropriate specifications for the part you are adding to your list, you can change the quantity to whatever number you need, then hit the Add button to add it to your list. You'll see that your chosen part has been added to your loose list, where you can again edit the quantity if needed. The final tab in vList is for automated warning messages. In this tab, you'll see a list of warnings and their associated IDs generated by possible issues in your vList file. These warnings have been specifically implemented based on Viking's limits for what is or is not safe for our fabrication personnel, or what is generally seen as impossible to do. Some examples of warnings you will see are for minimum piece lengths, blank values, thread ends not allowed on Schedule 10, or outlets directly on the ends of pipe. You can use this tab to directly navigate to a problem piece by using the Location button. It will immediately switch your view to the tab with the problem piece along with the problem ID. Any warnings you see in this tab will have already been marked in the other tabs with this red box. You can read the warning directly there by hovering over the problem piece. You can remove warnings from your Messages tab if desired but note that using the red minus button only hides the warnings from view in this tab. The warnings will still be applied and will still show up on your reports. Besides your configuration menu and your different tabs for data entry, you'll also see a few icons at the top of your screen. From left to right, start a new project, open an existing project, save project to a different name, import HLF project, export HLF project, close project, copy job information from another project, quickly delete multiple lines, parts manager, and create stock list, shop, or field reports. Start new, open, save, and save project to a different name all function the same as your typical file, new, open, save, and save as. Close project will only close your vList file and will return you to the initial landing page, leaving the vList program still open. Import HLF allows you to transfer project data from a HydroList file into vList. This utility prompts you to define your HydroList pipe types and fittings in vList terms and parts. Export HLF allows you to do the opposite and move your vList job information into an HLF. This utility does also prompt you to define your pipe types and fittings to make sure everything is correct in the resulting HLF. Copy job information will specifically only copy the information from another vList from the Project tab. It will not copy any pipes, fittings, IDs, or defaults. Quickly delete multiple lines gives you a list of the IDs in each tab of vList that you can then multi-select and delete out of the project if needed. The Parts Manager button will open the Parts Manager for you to view. This is where you can see the complete list of parts associated with the fabrication location you are working with. And it also allows you to add in your own parts if needed. Create stock list, shop, or field reports is where you can go to generate your necessary paperwork to submit to a fabricator, to your own fab shop, and for your field personnel. Note that specifically for the stock list report option, there's a button for Submit for Quote. This button will send your vList file and the related PDF directly to your chosen Viking branch for quoting and fabrication.